Hello everyone, this is going to be a reconstruction of Tymon Kolasinski's 1.08 official 2x2 average, which he got at Droman Open 2026. So this was the first scramble, which he got a 117 on. There's a 3/4 of a face on green and orange. He first checked on green, and he saw this 3 move into this really nice EG1. And after that, he didn't really look for more solutions. He was just kind of debating on what angle he should do it at. But he eventually settled on here. He did U prime R prime F as the layer, and then he did this EG1, and he used his left middle finger to do AUF, so there was no need to overwork. And that was a really nice solve. Okay, so his second solve was a 122. So he saw on white that you could do this 2-move face into this EG2. So he first saw this, and then he decided to angle switch to here. So he did a U prime, L prime, and he did an alg for this case I've never really seen before, but how he did it was R prime F2 R, U prime R prime F, R prime U, R prime F R, U prime R, which is an interesting alg. The alg I've always known for this case is just an anti-CLL, so I will probably learn from Tymon and use that alg. I do think the way Tymon executed it though was not optimal, because he picked it up, right? He had it in home grip, did a U prime, then re-gripped into this position to start the alg. But what I think would have been optimal would be to start from this position. So when you start, you have an F prime, and while you're doing that F prime, you can re-grip your hand to do the alg. So yeah, it could have been slightly better, but a 122 is still 122, so yeah. So on his fourth solve, which was a 0.75, during inspection, he initially kind of panics because he can't find anything. I mean, this looks pretty bad. And then he checks on orange, and then when he one looks this, you can see him mouth the word "what" after successfully one looking, and I'll just show the solution. There's like no method to that. You just kind of solve it, and it's a kind of like, you just kind of see the cube coming together, and I feel like a lot of cubers could just, especially 2x2 solvers, just kind of recognize that. But yeah, it was pretty interesting how Tymon found it. Also, so far in this average, it seems like Tymon has only one-looked one solution on each solve. So it is interesting that every solution he finds is pretty good. Alright, so his fourth solve, which was a 0.84, there's a pre-made TCLL layer, and he just does the TCLL. I'm unsure if he tried one-looking this solution or not, but I'm gonna guess that he was just kind of thinking on how to execute it, or maybe he was predicting AUF. But he puts the cube down like this, does the alg, drags U, really clean timer stop, and gets a 0.84. Alright, and solve 5 was a 0.82 plus 2, which is quite unfortunate, but he did have quite a nice scramble here. So there's this block on yellow, you can do an L, and then do the soon, or cancel in the soon like this, which is what he did. But he didn't do the AUF, and I'm pretty sure that he just didn't predict the AUF, because there was no attempt of his finger like trying to do the move. He just kind of stopped the timer, so yeah, it looked more like a misprediction rather than an execution mistake. But yeah, congrats to Tymon, crazy average, and I definitely do see better results coming from him in the future in 2x2, so yeah.